Israel has launched new strikes on Beirut's southern suburbs after issuing forced evacuation orders for several neighborhoods. The military says it's striking Hezbollah targets in the Lebanese capital. Israel also attacked parts of southern Lebanon, where it is expanding its ground offensive. More than 1,000 people have been killed in Lebanon since hostilities resumed between Israel and Hezbollah on March the 2nd. Heidi Pett is live for us now in Beirut. Heidi, it was a dangerous night in the southern suburbs. What can you tell us about the overnight strikes?
It was. So Israel last night reissued these forced evacuation orders that it has been giving to residents across the country here last night. So late last night, the Israeli military spokesman, as has become his tradition, put a statement out on Twitter, on X, telling people that they needed to leave their homes. And shortly afterwards, in the hours that followed, there were several large airstrikes which hit Jazeera, which is Beirut's southern suburbs. This is an area that over the last 2.5 weeks has been subject to an enormous Israeli air campaign. There are still some residents in that area, despite these forced evacuation orders. Some people have been going back and forth. Either they're coming out to work and they're going back. And that is because the situation here, the humanitarian situation in Beirut and across the country, is dire. There are more than 1 million people displaced across the country right now. Many of the shelters are full. The government has closed schools, universities. They've turned football stadiums into shelters, but the capacity is just not there. We're down by the waterfront here in Beirut this morning. It's been raining the last couple of days. It's raining right now, and people are still out here sleeping in tents, sleeping on the street, sleeping in their cars.
Now, Heidi, we can hear the rain behind you. And of course, that's been happening, making conditions even more miserable for the hundreds of thousands of people who are on the move from these forced evacuations. What can you tell us about the offensive in southern Lebanon, Heidi, where a lot of these people have been moved from? Where does that stand at this moment?
So there were also a number of airstrikes across the south last night, mostly concentrated in the districts of Tyre and Bin Jebel. But the ground operation in the south continues. Hezbollah issued a statement last night saying that they had conducted 52 operations in the last 24 hours against Israeli forces, both inside Lebanon, where they're operating, they're attempting to push further into Lebanon on the ground. They also said they'd struck Israeli forces and settlements in northern Israel. But this ground campaign, it was officially announced by Israel several days ago. It's been ongoing for about 2.5 weeks now, these attempts to push further into Lebanon. It's concentrated mostly around the towns of Hiam in the south, which is a very strategic town. It's a hilltop town which the Israelis have been attempting to encircle and take control of. But the battle there continues. And the reason for that is because if they're able to take that town, it's possible that the Israelis can cut off the supply line between the Bekaa Valley and South Lebanon, which are the areas where Hezbollah is really attempting to put up a fight here at the moment. The other areas where this ground operation seems to be concentrated right now, where we're seeing Hezbollah claim multiple operations against Israeli troops, against Israeli tanks that they say they're targeting with anti-tank missiles, rocket fire, things like that, is in the towns of Taiba. And also in Aita al-Shab, we're seeing a continued effort to move further into Lebanon by the Israelis there. But the broader situation in the south is, it is subject to a mass forced evacuation order by the Israelis. Everybody south of the Zahrani River has been told to leave their homes, but not everybody has. People are afraid that if they leave their homes, that they will never be able to go back. And so there are still civilians in South Lebanon, and I've been speaking with aid organizations in the last couple of days who are beginning to sound the alarm about the fact that they're having trouble getting supplies down there. The Israeli army has blown up a number of bridges crossing the Litani River. They've said that they're going to target any trucks traveling along the coastal highway. So just yesterday, actually, we had the Pharmaceutical Association here in Lebanon beginning to sound the alarm, saying that they're having trouble getting supplies to pharmacies for medicines and things like that for the civilians who do remain down there while this fighting goes on.
A situation that just keeps getting more difficult. Heidi Pett, live in Beirut. Thank you.